Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the Trash to Treasure Tuesday challenge. This is a challenge that myself and Sophie from Sophie's Crafty Corner have set ourselves. We are creating a journal purely from junk. Now I know we usually make junk journals, but quite often we decorate them and embellish them with digitals, but this time we're trying to steer clear of digitals and just make them from trashy items, whether that's old paper bags, old magazines, old envelopes, whatever it is that we have to hand. So the last few videos we have been putting the journal together, and this is mine. So I've made a square journal and then I've just collaged and used different sort of paints and inks and things just to add a bit of colour around the outside. I used an old paper bag to create this. I did have a strip of elastic that I took off of something, I can't even remember what it was now, and I've used that as my closure. So it is a bit white at the moment. I'm quite sure it'll probably discolour as I start art journaling, and I am using this as an art journal, which I'm very excited to start. We added some pockets in one of the weeks, so I've got my pocket here, and I thought this would be really handy, so when I am art journaling, if I have any different sort of smaller scraps that I can use, I can pop those in there. So that was created in one of the weeks as well. And then we also created some different flips. So I've got one of them here on the front that kind of just opens out, and then we've got our page here. It also flips down, and it just gives us lots more space to be working with. Now I was half planning on actually starting a page today. However, I made my base pages out of some old packaging, and as you can see on this first page, some of them have like a perforated edge in the middle of their page, which makes them a little bit unstable. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to spend today's video, so it is going to be a shorter one, today's video just prepping the pages. So if they have got a perforated edge in the middle of them, I'm just going to put something over it just to kind of make it a little bit more sturdy, and I'm going to gesso a couple of pages as well, ready for next week. Now a really exciting thing about next week as well, Sophie and I are going to be doing a live. Eek! That's really scary to me. I don't do lives. I think Sophie has done a few, but we were playing around in her group today, actually just having a little bit of a tester to see how it all works with two of us doing it. So we were having a little play around in her group. I believe the video's deleted, so you can't go and see it. But yeah, next week we will be doing a live. We will put out little announcements and things ahead of time. It's most likely going to be in Sophie's group, so she can kind of lead the live, and then she can just invite me just until I kind of get used to it, and then perhaps if it's a success, we will make it a regular thing, and we can perhaps alternate between our two groups. But I will share the live in my group once it's finished anyway. But yeah, we just thought that would be a little bit of fun. So next week we'll be live, and we will both be working in our journals. So Sophie's doing the same today, prepping her pages. So let's get on with that. So as I said, I've got a bit here. Now this doesn't have to look pretty because we will be obviously art journaling over it. So I've got this old sort of trade magazine. We get these through quite a lot. And I just thought I'm just going to use pages from here just to kind of stick over these bits, because like magazines tend to be a little bit sturdier, I think, than normal paper. And again, it doesn't have to be exact or neat or anything, so I'm just going to trim that bit off, and then I'm just going to tear a reasonably wider strip just to kind of give it stability on either side, and then that's going to get stuck there. But yes, very excited for the live. Now I must admit, lives do scare me. I think I've done one live before in my group, and it was just to do like a little winner's drawing. So it was like a 3-minute live. It wasn't for very long. I had my camera the wrong way round, so I was kind of sideways. So that's, you know, blooper number 1. I'm also, my videos are quite heavily edited, which you may not realise watching these, but I'm of an age now where my brain just shuts down mid-sentence sometimes, which obviously isn't fun for anybody, and you certainly don't want to be sitting there waiting for me to finish my sentence while my brain, you know, reboots and starts up again. So yeah, I do edit my videos, so lives make me nervous, but I'm actually quite liking the idea of doing a live with Sophie, because I'm thinking, well, then I've got support. So if, you know, I am having a funny 5 minutes and my brain's decided to not function for a moment, there's somebody else that can do some talking. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like to push myself out of my comfort zone. It's something that is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm quite the introvert. I'm not a chatty Cathy, she says as she's chatting away into the camera. But I'm not normally a chatty person. But yeah, I do like to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone. Which is why I kind of started my YouTube videos all those years ago. I thought, no, I'm going to push myself out there and give it a go, and I'm so glad I did. And what I like about the lives, because I like watching lives myself when I can. I mean, a lot of the crafters that I watch are from different areas of the world, so obviously their time zones are very different. But I do like watching lives when I can, and I like that you can kind of give immediate comments. You're almost like chatting with them. And I love reading the comments on my YouTube channel, so I do respond to each and every comment when people do comment down below. And I just thought, well, how cool would that be to be able to do it straight away? So yeah, so if you want to see Sophie and I in action live next week, then it will be in her Facebook group. So it's Sophie's Crafty Corner. I will have it linked down below. Make sure you come and join. And then obviously nearer the time, we will kind of give you details of times and things when it's going to be. But yeah, hopefully should be a lot of fun. Right, so what I'm doing is just anywhere that there's that perforated bit, oops, in the middle, I'm just adding that. So that actually does have a little one, doesn't it? I need another page. I think this way is probably easier, isn't it? Yeah, I'm also not a fan of silence. So as I said, I'm not a chatty Cathy. I don't tend to chat in my videos, although I seem to be doing a very good job of it this time around. I don't normally chat as a craft. I mean, this obviously isn't too much of a strenuous task, but generally speaking, I don't chat because I'm so busy focused. And like I said, my brain has its moments. I can't do two things at once. I can't explain what I'm doing as well as talk about other things. Oops. Not sure what the point was where I was going. See, my brain doesn't function. But yeah, because this is quite a simple task, just going through this, I can have a little bit of a chat as we go. Yeah, right, okay, I think that's that side. Let's go the other way and just reinforce it on this side. Yeah, I did have plans, and I've mentioned this in a couple of my, like at the end of each year and the beginning of the upcoming year, I normally do a bit of a video of you know, what I've been up to and what my plans are for the next year. And for the last couple of years, I've said podcast. I really wanted to do a podcast. And I have got bits recorded, but I've kind of put it on the back burner for the moment, purely because I've recently changed jobs. So I'm working more hours. I mean, not many more. It's not like, yeah, it's like tons more hours, but I am working more hours. Before I used to have a couple of afternoons off a week. I don't have that anymore. I'm now working full time. So obviously that has a huge impact into the time I have then for crafting. And up until recently, I'm starting to get ahead of myself. Up until recently, I've pretty much been recording the videos for YouTube like very last minute. Just everything seems to be very last minute. Everything's because I've just not had the proper time to organise myself. But I think I'm slowly getting myself into a routine again. And then, yeah, hopefully, maybe a bit later on in the year, I might then start releasing the podcast. But I just didn't want to be releasing it now and then not being able to keep up with it because of my change in job. I mean, for those of you that don't know, I'm a qualified teacher. I'm not necessarily teaching at the moment. I'm supporting. So I've changed my role slightly, but I am still in the classroom working with children, just in a more supportive role rather than a teaching role, and that's just purely choice. I mean, I don't, even as a teaching assistant, as they're called, I don't have a great deal of time. So if I was a teacher, I would have no time. I'd have to give this up, and I don't want to. And I also enjoy my time with my family. I know lots of people joke about the teaching profession. Oh, you know, you get all those holidays off and everything. Well, yes, you do, but also you're doing lots and lots of work, and lots of people seem to be under the illusion, and I must admit I did before I was teaching, that the kids all leave just after 3 o'clock. That's it, your day's finished. Well, no, it's not. I mean, when I was a teacher before my daughter was born, well, actually even after my daughter was born, I used to be planning, marking, assessing, doing whatever each evening, sometimes till like 7-8 o'clock in the evening, and it would eat into my weekends. And then when we had all of these holidays, I would still be planning, marking, assessing, sometimes in school, in my classroom, setting up displays and getting things ready for the next term. So, yeah, it was just a non-stop. And, you know, I'm not saying that teaching's the only job that's like that. I realise that people that work in the NHS and all of that kind of stuff, that's all pretty much the same. You're just expected to do all of these things just as part of your job. But yeah, it's a lot. And yeah, like I said, nothing against teachers and things that do it. I think if I didn't have my daughter Phoebe, then I possibly would be back in the classroom. But I just felt, because I did go back into teaching full time not long after she was born, I did go back, and I just missed her and missed her growing up, because yeah, unfortunately in the evenings I was like, sorry, can't play, can't do those things because mummy's busy, and I just didn't like that. So that's why I decided to step away from that, and I'm glad I did. I do enjoy actually doing the teaching assistant side. It's very different set of challenges, but I think what I like about it, so as a teacher, and it might be different in different parts of the world, but as a teacher, I started off in secondary school actually, and especially in secondary school, you have so many children coming through your doors, because obviously they've got all subjects to attend. you never really kind of built those relationships. And even as a primary school teacher, when you have the same class all day, yes, you built those relationships, but your focus is on all 30 children in your class. So yes, you are building relationships, but it's very, very difficult to kind of really get to know individual children, especially the children that possibly really need you to really know them. Whereas as a teaching assistant, because you tend to be placed with the children that need that extra support, you get to really know them, which I've actually quite enjoyed. So yeah, like I said, I do like my job, but my hours have now increased, which means some things have had to give. And at the moment, that is my podcast. Oh, might help if I take the lid off. Right, I think this is going to be the last strip, and then that's all those. Oh no, I've spotted another one. Right, let's move this along. Got a bit on the back here, so let's grab that bit. Yeah, so looking forward to next week, because next week's going to be the actual art journaling. Yeah, very, very much looking forward to that part. I'm just going to add a bit more glue. Just down there. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that is everything. Right, let's gesso some pages. I'm keeping that way for a moment just so that bit can dry before I start bending it. So I think I'm just going to start at the beginning. So obviously this is the top page, ignore that bit, this is the top page. So I'm going to put a bit of gesso on here. Oh, if I can get the lid off. Right, and I've got like quite a wide brush because obviously I just want to be able to sort of spread it. Now it's not going to be a thick layer, but gesso is really good for just prepping the surface, especially when you're going to be applying paints and things. So it's not going to be, like I said, terribly thick. But I do just want to kind of brush it about a bit. Because yeah, I'm going to be applying paints. I'm going to be doing some collaging as well. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to doing some painting. Now I do want to announce already, I am not an artist. I am not very good at painting, but that doesn't stop me enjoying it. Right, so that's literally how it's going to look. So I'm just lightly kind of prepping it. I am going to do this bit as well because obviously don't want all those names. And I'm not fussed about direction if I'm not sticking to the same direction. Just want to be able to spread that out a bit. And again, it doesn't have to be completely covered. I don't mind if some of the text is still showing through a little bit because that adds to the effect when I'm decorating and painting next time. So but especially if it is a magazine page, obviously it's quite shiny, so paint could kind of crack and peel off that. So the nice thing about the gesso is it just kind of sets the surface. so that it's ready. Right, so I've done those two. I'm going to lightly, oh actually no, do I want to? Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it there because those two are ready, and that's going to be my first page ready then for next week. So I'm going to leave that there. And I think I'm just going to leave that open to dry. I'll obviously wash my brush up. I think I can probably bend that page again now. Oops, there we go. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that open so that can dry fully, ready for next week. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a much more chatty video than usual, but like I said, it's been an easier task to be able to have a little bit of a chat with you. I hope that you are enjoying this series. I know lots of people have been starting their own Trash to Treasure journals, and it's been fantastic seeing those in the groups. Please keep posting your pictures of your progress. We really like to see, and we'd also like to see what you start doing in them. Like I said, I'm doing some art journaling. I think Sophie's going to be doing something similar. So join us next week for the live. As I said, more information will be coming out soon. I will be posting the video once it's kind of finished and it's over in my Facebook group, and if I can, I will upload it here to YouTube as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.